Namaste friends, hello, welcome to my channel Astrological. I am a keen observer of planetary transits and I study their effects on countries, individuals and various other entities based upon the principles of Vedic Astrology. This video is first one in the series of two videos which I have made to describe the effect of eclipses coming upon 21st of June and 5th of July. As you all know that on 21st of June 2020 there will be a solar eclipse and on 5th July 2020 there will be a penumbral lunar eclipse. Although there was a penumbral lunar eclipse on 5th of June 2020 also, but its effects were not that prominent in my opinion. The link to the second video in which I have described the effects of penumbral lunar eclipse occurring on 5th of July 2020 can be found in the description of this video. The cumulative effects of both the eclipses will show that why some countries, for example Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, India, China, United States of America, England, Belgium, Germany, France, Italy and Australia are going to suffer due to the effect of these two eclipses. After I make this series comprising of a couple of videos, I will make a video to describe why the period from 4th to 6th August will be highly sensitive for this world, and after that I will make a detailed series to show why the period from November 2020 to January 2021, that is the first month of the next year, will be highly sensitive and greatly unprecedented for this world. There are a lot of transits in that period which need to be described to explain why that period is going to be extraordinarily eventful for the world. But first, let us discuss the effects of solar eclipse slated to occur on 21st of June 2020. First of all, we will discuss the timing of the solar eclipse occurring on 21st of June 2020. That solar eclipse will begin at 3:45 am GMT, that is Greenwich Mean Time. During that time, sun would have risen across many countries in the world. At 4:47 am GMT, at any location, a complete eclipse will be seen. At 6:40 am GMT, the maximum limit of this eclipse will be attained. At 8:32 am GMT, the complete eclipse will be seen at any location for the last time, and at 9:34 am GMT, the eclipse will end, that is, partial eclipse will be seen at any location for the last time. In barely 1 minute, let me discuss the visibility of this eclipse. This eclipse will be visible in central parts of Africa like Congo, Ethiopia, southern parts of Pakistan, India and China. First of all, observe that the solar eclipse falling on 21 June 2020 falls on Sunday. So when an eclipse falls on Sunday, its effects are that the prices of pulses, edible oils, sugar, rice and wheat etc. rise after a lapse of 2 months. If you observe more carefully, then the lunar eclipse of 5th July 2020 also falls on Sunday. So the effects of eclipse when it falls on Sunday can be more prominent, and they will be more prominent actually. The second thing is that the solar eclipse of 21 June 2020 falls in the lunar month of Ashada. It is one of the lunar months based on lunar calendar of India. So its effects are different. Let me tell you in brief. When an eclipse occurs during the month of Ashad, then the people of Kashmir, China, Afghanistan come to grief. The people of Punjab, one of the Indian states, also suffer, and there are also turbulences in central parts of India. A solar eclipse in the month of Ashad also creates turbulent political differences and warlike conditions may come about. Loss of crops, famine, and a rise in the prices of food grains are other outcomes of an eclipse occurring in the lunar month of Ashad. Now, before going ahead, I will explain you a brief about Vedic astrology system so that you can understand the terms that I am going to use in this video. Please see the chart over my head. which I am showing you in a red rectangle so that you can understand which chart I am talking about. In this chart, concentrate on the triangle at the right top where number 3 is written. That is not exactly a triangle, but for the time being, for the sake of explaining, I am using this word. Please refer to the triangle at the right top where number 3 is written. In that box, you can see the number 3 is written. The number 3 denotes the third zodiac sign, Gemini, and you can also see Sun, Moon, and Mercury. MER is written in the box, and there is one additional term, RH, which is often called the dragon's head. It is a shadow planet in Vedic astrology, very much affects the happenings over across the world and on the individuals also. So the above chart is of the time when the solar eclipse will take place, and as Sun and Moon are together in the sign Gemini, as I have just explained you, you can see that the eclipse is going to take place in the sign Gemini, where Mercury is also posited, and Mars from 9th house aspects this 12th house through its 4th aspect. So what happens when Mars puts an eclipse under its aspect? When Mars puts an eclipse under the aspect, it creates war, and cases like theft, accident, and fire go up. Now, as I just explained, that Mercury is posited in the sign Gemini where eclipse is taking place. One of the effects of Mercury being posited in the same sign of eclipse or aspecting the sign of eclipse is that the ruling party of the countries wherever the eclipse is visible run through an unfavorable time. Now the eclipse will take place in Gemini, which is a dual nature sign. Basically, zodiac signs are of three types: movable, fixed, and dual nature. Gemini is a dual nature sign and eclipse is taking place in Gemini. So what are the effects when an eclipse takes place in the dual sign? That is, in a sign having dual nature. Let us see those effects. So an eclipse taking place in a dual nature sign incites labor unrest, it incites strikes, it incites, you can say, non-cooperation movement by various masses, it increases crime rate, sickness, and which ultimately lead to disturbances. So in the time of coronavirus spread, the increase of sickness is not a good sign, which is one of the effects of this eclipse. These unlawful activities generate man-made shortage, which makes the markets go up and share markets tumble, that is, share markets fall after a certain fixed period. Eclipse is taking place in Gemini, which is also an airy sign, that is, its element is air. When an eclipse takes place in a sign which is air element, then its effects are different. Let us see those effects. Eclipses taking place in airy signs cause famine, sickness, pestilence, and disturbed weather conditions. The relations of a country are strained with other countries. As you can see, the relations of China and India are presently strained, and this lunar eclipse and solar eclipse coming up can very much further strain the relationship of India and China. The relationship of United States of America and China are also strained, so the straining may further, you can say, worsen. When eclipses take place in airy signs, some alliance and treaties are definitely executed, but the fight of political parties, especially ruling and other parties, is out in public in such a way that it causes discomfort to the public. These are the effects when eclipses take place in airy signs. Now let us understand the effects of solar eclipse taking place on 21 June 2020 with the help of Sarvato Bhadra Chakra tool, which you can see on the left part of the screen. This is a very ancient tool of Vedic astrology. Nowadays people don't use it much, but it is a very good tool which can be used to make mundane predictions, that is, predictions about countries, people, governments, etc. In this chart, you have to concentrate on the names of planets written in red color in squares, outermost squares you can say. For example, you can see Sun, Moon and Rahu are written together in Mrigashira. Let me show you by drawing a square. So you can see here Sun, Moon and Rahu in a singular box mentioned in red color. Rahu is dragon's head in Vedic astrology. Dragon's tail is Ketu. You can see Ketu in Mool Nakshatra. Let me show you by drawing a square. So you have to pay attention on only these names which are mentioned in red ink. Rahu and Ketu, that is dragon's head and dragon's tail, are shadow planets in Vedic astrology. They don't have a physical existence and are merely points I must say. They are merely points, but they affect human life and every other entity, commodity in a very effective way. So they are always considered. They are considered among 9 Grahas of Vedic astrology. Now let us see why will Sagittarius sign will be the most affected sign due to this solar eclipse. You can see Sun, Moon and Dragon's head, that is Rahu, written in Mrigashira Nakshatra. Let me first briefly explain you what is a nakshatra. Nakshatra is basically a constellation which is known by the name of a very famous star in that constellation. So Mrigashira is one of the nakshatras. There are 27 nakshatras in Vedic astrology. This chart is based on 28 nakshatras, but one nakshatra Abhijit, which you can see here. Let me make a square and show you. Abhijit is not counted in the present system of astrology, but in the calculation of this chart, Abhijit is very much used, and there are overall 28 nakshatras in this chart, 7 on each side. Now you can see that Sun, Moon and Rahu, that is dragon's head, are in fourth quarter of Mrigashira Nakshatra. I can draw a square and show you that they all are in fourth quarter of the Mrigashira Nakshatra, and from there they put under aspect the first quarter of Uttarashadha Nakshatra. Let me draw an arrow and a square to explain you things more clearly. And once I have drawn the square in the Uttarashadha Nakshatra, you can see that Jupiter, Saturn and Pluto are already presided there. So basically the aspect is from fourth quarter of Mrigashira to the first quarter of Uttarashadha Nakshatra. You can see the first quarter of Uttarashadha Nakshatra falls in the Sagittarius sign. So you can say that Capricorn as well as Sagittarius are the most affected signs due to this eclipse, and Uttarashadha Nakshatra is the most affected nakshatra due to this eclipse because 3 planets are already posited here, and 3 planets, that is Sun, Moon and Dragon's head, put this nakshatra under aspect. If I talk about signs, then the Sagittarius sign governs the countries Saudi Arabia, France, Italy, Spain, England, Madagascar, etc. Capricorn zodiac sign governs countries like Greece, India, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, etc. The Uttarashadha Nakshatra basically governs Himalayan region of India. It also governs like Kullu, Kashmir Valley, regions like these. Now, Sun, Moon and Rahu, that is dragon's head from Mrigashira, and Ketu, that is dragon's tail from Mool Nakshatra aspect Revati Nakshatra. Revati Nakshatra is a part of Pisces zodiac sign, and Pisces represents many countries like I told you about Sagittarius. Let us see the name of those countries first. Pisces represents Sri Lanka, Egypt, Portugal, Sahara and South of Asia Minor type regions you can say. It also represents Chicago city and Calcutta city, Kolkata in India. The eclipse is taking place in the zodiac sign Gemini. Gemini represents you can say United States of America, England, France, parts of France I must say, and many other western countries. Also you can see that since Sun, Moon and Rahu aspect Uttarashadha Nakshatra, where Saturn, Jupiter and Pluto are already posited. Here you can see that this nakshatra Uttarashadh lies in the western part of this Sarvato Bhadra Chakra tool. So there is the impact of 6 planets in one of the nakshatra falling in the west side of the Sarvato Bhadra Chakra. So you can say that the effect of this solar eclipse will be very huge on western countries of the world or in western parts of the countries. Sun, Moon and Rahu in Mrigashira and Ketu in Mool Nakshatra also aspect Chitra Nakshatra. You can say on right hand side Chitra Nakshatra. It is spread in 2 zodiac signs, Libra and Virgo. Libra sign, like just I explained you the Pisces sign, it represents Canada and many other countries which we have already dealt with the parts of those countries. Let me explain you in a while. Libra most importantly represents China and Indochina, Myanmar, nearby countries of India. So you can say that the effect of eclipse on these countries will also be very much huge because Chitra is put under aspect by 4 planets including Moon. So now you can see that the Uttarashadha Nakshatra, which falls in the western side of the Sarvato Bhadra Chakra, is deeply afflicted nakshatra due to the solar eclipse. So the western part of the world will be deeply affected by the solar eclipse. There is no doubt in this fact. The upcoming lunar eclipse will occur during an ongoing planetary war, so we can easily conclude that the civil unrest in the United States of America is not going to die anytime sooner, and the tensions between India and China, which are prevailing due to a border issue, are not going to die anytime soon because the effect of eclipse will not let good times come so soon very quickly. The solar eclipse of 21st June 2020 will take place in the 4th quarter of Mrigashira Nakshatra. You can see that here I have made a square to show you that the eclipse is taking place in the 4th quarter of Mrigashira Nakshatra. In this quarter, the planetary war of Dragon's Head Rahu, it is also called Dragon's Head as I explained, the planetary war between Venus and Dragon's Head Rahu will bring a very sensitive period in the world from 4th to 6th of August 2020. You can see that period. And since the coronavirus, that is COVID 2019, is very much prevalent in this world right now, so until Jupiter moves out of Capricorn and returns to Sagittarius on 30th of June 2020, I do not see or I see very less relief from this coronavirus in many countries like India. The effect can definitely reduce after 30th of June, but the speed of recovery will be very slow due to a malefic period awakened by this solar eclipse and the upcoming lunar eclipse. So I'm not bidding you goodbye. Please join me in the next video to see why the lunar eclipse will bring serious upheavals in this world, why the lunar eclipse will act as a catalyst during the reaction of planetary war to hasten, or you can say to increase further, the civil unrest which is taking place in the United States of America. It will also create widespread coronavirus across many countries of the world where it is not spreading much now. So let us meet in the next video. The link, I repeat, can be found in the description. Take care.